Great, thanks. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to be here today and out of your busy schedule at Trailhead DX. It's always hard to compete against Mark and Parker, so we'll make, everyone at that session is losing out. So again, thank you so much for being here. As the slide says, today we're going to talk about building collaboration apps on Quip and to help your teams work faster. My name is Rafael Allenda. I run product marketing at Quip, and I'm joined today by Kevin Reese from Lucidchart, and as well as Tim Winchester. And we're going to show you we're going to talk a little bit about what Quip is, what kind of problems we solve, and then I'm going to have Kevin and Tim talk a little bit about their experience in building a live app on our platform. We've had some good news today. We announced some good news around having our live apps available in the App Exchange, and so we'll talk a little bit about what that means. I always like to start our presentations on a high note. So here's our forward-looking statement. You should make any purchasing decisions on the products as is. The good thing is everything we're going to talk about today is live, so nothing, no impact there. So we're helping some of the most innovative companies in the world, in every industry, of every size, solve their collaboration problems. They're telling us Quip is working, and in a survey that we did where they self-reported the impact Quip has had on the business, what they told us is with Quip, the teams that use Quip are experiencing about a 43% reduction in the amount of email they send every day. They're doing about 38% fewer meetings. So if you're looking at your Google calendar and you're just it's full of meetings, Quip can certainly help reduce that. Our business value, what we promise companies, is that we can help you move your work, your business faster, and that's what we're hearing from our customers. Projects that utilize Quip as the main project management tool sees a 37% reduction or speed up of their projects. And that's because we improve better the communication between teams. And whenever we talk to customers, they come with the same problem. Work looks like this. Every employee suffers from overflowing email, packed calendars, busy chat notifications, multiple files, versioning, everything, and clunky systems that they use to do work. The truth is, most companies lack a collaboration strategy. And what happens is when you don't standardize in the way you make decisions, the way you talk to each other, the way you collaborate, you fall back to the default of email and calendars. And email is great for a variety of different things. It's not good for collaboration. And so we believe modern companies should be adopting a hyper-collaboration strategy that helps them move work forward faster. We're working with many of the CIOs of those companies that I had on prior slides to deploy this kind of strategy so their organizations can keep up and move forward much, much faster. So let me tell you a little bit about what this shift looks like. It's about moving from this kind of desktop era of working where we're mired in emails, attachments, we're super file-centric, teams are working in silos, there's tons of friction between handoffs of teams, and there's a lag. It just shuts down the way, key initiatives, key projects. For many of the companies we work with, they've told us that the systems that they use feel like they have to tolerate them. It's forced upon them to do the way they work, which is tough because the applications that we use in our day-to-day lives, in our personal lives, they don't match the types of tools that we're using in our work days. So making that shift to a mobile cloud document strategy is what we believe will speed up your business. That means the documents and the spreadsheets that you're using are live. They're integrated. They're seamless. It's engaging. The whole team is working on it, not just one or two people. And it's instant. It's iterative. It's what we expect out of our personal, the way we use technology in our personal lives. And on an organizational level, this is usually where people start nodding their heads. What we saw is at the individual level or team level, people are creating work in a whole slew of apps on the right-hand side. But then they're also communicating about that work on a completely other system or set of apps. And we're relying on individuals, humans, to bridge it. And when we do that, that's where these initiatives and projects slow down. It's just overwhelming. And wouldn't it be amazing if we had one place where we could do both? We could create the work and then talk about that work in the context of it. And that's why we built Quip. It's exactly what we're trying to solve, this problem. And so what is Quip? We're mobile cloud documents. We accelerate collaboration. And we believe that the most successful businesses are the ones that unlock team collaboration through better technology and turning chaos into clarity. And so what are the kind of the center, why did we build it, and what are the ethics of why we built Quip? One, it's absolutely collaborative. Everything we do, the center of gravity of the product is it's collaborative. It's for teams. It's integrated, and we'll talk a little bit about that today with the news that we announced. And similarly, it was built mobile first. That isn't to say that it's just a mobile experience, but it works on any device. So let's take a look at what one of these documents looks like. There you go. These aren't your normal documents. They are collaboration headquarters. So every Quip document includes, drives or increases transparency. So here on this document, you're seeing there are 6 people on the document, and they're looking at the same version simultaneously. So there's no version controlling, there's no problems there. They're able to view it right there and then. This document also creates a culture of action. So those same people can edit that document simultaneously. So normally where it's your turn, my turn, with Quip, it's our turn. This document also has these superpowers, the ability to add things to a document that you've never been able to do before. So you're able to add calendars and social artifacts like @mentioning. You're able to like comments from your teammates. You're able to add people directly there. You're able to add comments directly on the document. And likewise, with the news that we did today, we were able to connect services that you've never been able to do before directly into a Quip document. And then lastly, and this is the beautiful secret sauce, is every Quip document has integrated chat built right in. So not only can you make a comment directly on the surface of a Quip document, but you have the conversation within context of the work that's happening in the document right alongside of it. And like I said, we've made collaboration with Quip as easy as a text message. We believe that you should be able to move work forward on any device. So every feature that is available on the mobile, on the desktop is available on mobile. Being able to edit a spreadsheet, make a 2-word response to your teammates is as easy as tagging a friend on Facebook. And Quip is a hub for your team. It can do anything. It's incredibly flexible. If you need to build it, Quip has the tools that you want. So we have sales teams, marketing teams, service teams, product teams, being able to create tons of documents for projects and initiatives, and it all lives within Quip. It's incredibly powerful. And because we are part of Salesforce, we've also built a really powerful integrations. Right here you can see you're able to create, link, open Quip documents and spreadsheets directly from Salesforce. So now you can keep relevant documents for an account, for an opportunity, right there for everyone to be able to access that is working on that account. And that's the power of the Quip collaboration platform. You know, you've got this toolbox of amazing superpowers. You can build the perfect collaboration hub. We have built this platform so we can collaborate on literally everything. We'll show you a little bit on that. Today we announced that our live apps are third-party live apps are available in the App Exchange, so we're taking advantage of this incredibly powerful B2B ecosystem. And companies are able to customize Quip and their hub and the documents to work the way they work. And that is exactly what we're trying to deliver for our customers. So at Dreamforce this past year, we announced live apps as a new concept and a new feature. We shipped 10 plus live apps that Quip itself built. Ones from like Kanban boards, so your product team can keep critical projects moving forward. A calendar. I run product marketing. We add calendars to Quip documents to keep on top of important dates, countdowns for being able to do, for key events like Trailhead DX for us, polls. So my team uses polls to vote on the next email subject line. You can combine these live apps directly with other text and other components all within a document and create these very powerful workflows. But that's just what I just showed you there is what we built at Quip directly just with what we thought would be useful. But the power of this platform is we're extending it to bring in third-party services and apps that you use in your everyday work projects, all directly into Quip. So Quip Live Apps are now available in the App Exchange. We've launched with 7 partners. They're right here, Vidyard, Jira, Draw.io, Smartsheet, TaskRay, Lucidchart, obviously, Altify, and PDF Filler is coming. It's incredibly powerful, and you'll see all these apps, not only, I want to emphasize, these are live apps. This is data you're bringing into a document from those services that you can collaborate on. They're instantly mobile, and there's no more toggling between tabs where you've been having to do that before. Now you can focus on the high-value work rather than bringing data from one app into a document. Now you have that data live, and you're able to talk about it and collaborate on it, and that's where the high-value work is. So let's do a little bit of a deep dive into some of the highlighted apps. So one is Altify. It's #1 sales augmentation platform. It does account mapping. So now you're able to bring account maps, specifically to a certain account, directly into a document. The whole account team can work on it. And again, I want to emphasize, this is live data. So you're able to manipulate the account map, add comments to it, change it. So if you just had a meeting and someone that was not a friendly now becomes a friendly, you can edit that account map directly in the document. And then also add comments, mention your teammates on it, and you can access all this also on mobile. Secondly is TaskRay. It's a 5-star modern project management tool. So it's taking all the projects and tasks that are directly in Salesforce CRM and bringing them into a Quip doc in the form of a project. So now you're able to understand the progress of that project that's happening that you've been managing in Salesforce now directly into a Quip doc that you're collaborating with your teammates. And so this is like the power of the Quip platform. Every tool at your company we're going to be able to bring, we're building an ecosystem where you're going to be able to bring it into a Quip document and collaborate on it. Like I said, we've made the platform available. We've started with 7 launch partners that are available today in the App Exchange. We have a product collection available there, and you can access and download those apps today into Quip. And what's really fantastic is this platform, this API that we've used, that Lucidchart will talk about. We've been able to include some of the incredibly sophisticated technologies that Quip has been building for the past few years. So just with some few lines of code, you're able to add real-time co-authoring to your app. You're able to make your app instantly mobile. And you're able to add these powerful social features like app mentioning, liking, being able to make comments directly onto your app. And so with that, I'd like to pass it over to Kevin and Tim to talk a little bit about their experience on building on the platform.
Awesome. Thank you, Raphael.
Thanks.
So we are Lucidchart. Like Raphael said, my name is Kevin Reese, and this is Tim Winchester. We are both software engineers on the Lucidchart team that has been building our Quip live app. So I want to talk a little bit about Lucidchart to start with. First of all, do we have any Lucidchart fans here, any Lucidchart users already? We got 1, 2, 3, a couple here. There's some socks out there. Yeah, this is awesome. So we're glad that you're here. For the rest of you, we hope that after today you will become Lucidchart fans and Lucidchart users. We've made that easier by building this live app. So we also have some more socks. So afterwards, if you come talk to us or if you ask questions, we can give you some too. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what is Lucidchart and why did we decide to build a live app. And then I'm going to turn it over to Tim to talk about some of the things that we've learned and some of the more technical aspects of building a live app. So Lucidchart is a visualization platform. We help anyone understand and share ideas, information, and processes with clarity. And we make that visual communication easy. So how do our users actually use our product? Well, one prime example is entity relationship diagrams. These are a way for you to visualize what's going on in your databases. With Lucidchart, it's easy to build these manually, but it's even easier to build them with Lucidchart because you can actually import a schema into Lucidchart. We'll help you build it out for you, and then you can actually make changes and export it back into the code necessary to make the changes in your database. Let's talk about another use case. Architecture diagrams, network diagrams. This here is a AWS architecture. Once again, you can build it out manually, but if you use Lucidchart, you can also import it directly from AWS, and we'll build it out for you. And then we also have lots of salespeople that use Lucidchart. Lucidchart is very valuable and wonderful for communicating complex processes to make sure that everyone's on the same page and to make training easier. So that is a little bit about Lucidchart, some of the use cases. I want to talk now about what our live app does. I'm going to give you a quick demo of the live app and then talk about why we decided to build it. So you see here, you can insert our live app typing @diagram or @Lucidchart. And once you're in, we're actually going to see, oh no.
Let's try that again.
Okay, I want to try to pause it here to point out one piece of it if we can get it right.
It's okay. I got it. Yep.
Okay, so like I said, you can go in there, type @Lucidchart, and now you're into our live app. Oh boy, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to show right here. So this is the first screen that you see when you get into our live app. You can see the 3 tiles of starting. You can either create a new diagram from scratch, a blank diagram. You can also go in and access our templates and create a diagram from one of our templates. Or the third option is for inserting an existing diagram. Now, for every Quip user, whether you have a Lucidchart account or not, this will allow you to insert diagrams that you have already created inside of Quip, which is really awesome. However, if you want to take it to the next level, you can also connect your Lucidchart account to Quip, and then this will also give you access to any diagram from lucidchart.com that you've already created and allow you to insert it into Quip. So let's keep going, and I'll show you here. We go in, and this is what we have, what we call our embedded editor. We have taken the functionality of Lucidchart and embedded it directly into Quip. So now you can take the powerful, easy drag-and-drop building capabilities of Lucidchart and create and edit diagrams directly from within Quip. And this is awesome because now, once this diagram is embedded, any user that's on this Quip document is able to contribute, edit, comment on this diagram without ever having to leave the Quip tab. We also have some other functionality like this full screen mode that allows you to take full advantage of the real estate. We're going to talk a little bit more about this and how we did it when we get to Tim. So another thing that I want to talk about is you can see the orange button that says connect to Lucidchart. This is fun because, like I said, this allows you to actually connect your Quip account to Lucidchart, which means that now when you go to your document list, you will see all the diagrams that you already inserted that you've created in Quip and the ones that you created in Lucidchart.com. We also have this functionality open in Lucidchart, which is available to those that have Lucidchart accounts and those that don't, to come into our Lucidchart.com editor to access advanced features like the imports for ERDs and AWS architectures, as well as data linking and conditional formatting. So what's wonderful about this embedded editor and the Open Lucidchart experience is that changes that you make to that diagram, whether you're in Quip, whether you're in Lucidchart, they will all be updated live wherever you are, and that's awesome. That's thanks to thank you, and thanks very much to the power of Quip. So, why did we build a live app? Why did Lucidchart decide to invest in this platform? For one, the Heroku team was asked early on what third-party live app they would like to see in Quip, and Lucidchart was top of their list. So that was awesome for us, great validation. It also made a lot of sense for us because the second reason, Lucidchart has a core tenet of working where our customers work. And to that end, we have built integrations with many platforms. Quip is another awesome platform that was very natural to add to our list of integrations. Third reason, Quip is also an amazing platform with tons of users. They have millions of users every day, and that number just continues to grow, and we wanted to tap into that. And we encourage you to do the same. So this is why we built a live app. I now want to talk about why we built a live app. To give you a little context, here I have an example of one of our previously written integrations. This is the one with Google Docs. You can see on the left that this is a diagram created in Lucidchart. And on the right, you have a Google Doc. And you can, similar to how you can do in Quip, you can connect your account and have access to that diagram inside of Google Docs and insert it directly into this doc, which is awesome and powerful and allows the readers of that doc to see the content of the diagram. However, if you want to change the diagram and edit it, you actually have to still go back into lucidchart.com. When we started to build our Quip live app, initially we thought that we would do it like this. However, as we got into the platform, the technical possibilities of Quip, and also the paradigm that Quip embodies, we realized that this was less than ideal, and we wanted to really take our integrations to the next level and do something that we haven't done with any of our integrations to date. And that is combine it all into a single tab. So now when you insert a diagram, you can not only view it, but you can edit it directly, and that's very powerful. And we're really excited for what we've done and the power that Quip has given us, and they've really changed the paradigm of Lucidchart and emboldened us to take a large step like this. And we're really happy with what we've done. So I'm now going to turn the time over to Tim to talk more about some of the technical aspects of what we've learned.
So we've been working in the Quip ecosystem for about 6 months now, and we've learned a thing or two that I'd like to share with you. So just as a kind of overview, I'm going to talk a little bit about the terminology of the Quip ecosystem, and then I'll talk about the powerful features that you'll gain access to by working there. And then at the end, I'll link to some quick start documentation so you can start building your live app. So the first thing to know is that a packaged live app is called an ELE. It's a .ele file, and what that is, it's a package that has a manifest JSON, and then it has your elements JavaScript and CSS. The JavaScript supplies the business logic, and the CSS provides the styling. And the manifest JSON I'm going to dive into right now. So basically what the manifest JSON does is it tells Quip what your live app is going to need to have access to. So specifically, you can whitelist URLs, like I want to access this certain address to get images, I want to access this different one to load scripts, or if you want to connect with a WebSocket, this is all done through the manifest JSON whitelisting those things. The important thing to know about the manifest JSON is that it's always loaded from Quip, even when you're developing with local resources. So if you have multiple developers that are working on the same ELE and they're making manifest changes, they will probably clobber each other's changes. And for that reason, we recommend that you have an individual ELE for each of your developers in the dev environment. When you go into production, obviously, you want to have a single one. The third bit of terminology I want to talk about is records versus user preferences. So as the name probably suggests, user preferences are user-specific. And what the name may not suggest, records are document-specific. So you can see the difference between user A and user B here. User A has authentication information stored in their user preferences because they connected to Lucidchart. User B hasn't. So while user A will be able to access any of the diagrams that they've created on lucidchart.com, user B is limited only to the diagrams that they've created while in Quip. But what you may not know is that the underlying diagram here is actually the same. The record is the same for both users, even though the view is slightly different. And the thing is about records is that they are kind of the key to having native collaboration in your live app. So if you're familiar with the model view controller paradigm of programming, the record is your model, and you want it to be your single source of truth. It can be tempting to rely on local state to determine what your view is going to be, but that can lead to problems. As long as you use the record as your primary source of truth, and this is like the code right here is really basically all it takes to do that, is to just listen to the record for when it changes and use that to update your view. You've got collaboration right there. It could not be simpler. One of the things that Kevin alluded to earlier was leveraging real estate with the live app environment. And so if you see this red rectangle here, that's the boundary of the live app. And whenever the app isn't focused, everything outside of that rectangle will get cut off. But when it is focused, you can technically draw anywhere on the screen just with regular CSS styling. So the thing is that we wanted to have a menu off to the side that you can see here where you could drag and drop shapes onto the canvas, but because it was outside of that red rectangle, whenever you tried to click on it, it would just deselect the app, and that was no good. But we talked to Quip, and they provided this ability to do quip.apps.add_detached_node, and all you have to do is supply the HTML element that you want to detach, and then even when it's outside of that red boundary, you can still click on it, and it won't deselect your app. It'll still disappear when your app becomes unselected, but while it's selected, you basically have free reign over the entire screen. And so we not only leverage that to make the side menu, but we also use that to make the full screen mode that Kevin showed earlier. And then the final powerful feature I want to talk about is commenting. Ralph talked about this a little bit, but the core of Quip is being focused on collaboration and making people more effective at collaboration. And for that reason, I can only assume, they made it really easy to implement commenting on your live app. So this code right here is all you need. So comments are like the other collaborative features, they're just records. And the only thing you need to make a comment display is a comment record and this quip.apps.comments trigger. If you've got a comment record that you pass into that comment trigger, then you get that little yellow chat box or chat bubble icon there. And when you click on it, this dialog will open up automatically. And from there, the the chat is totally seamless and totally automatic. So finally, when you want to get started, the main thing that you need to do is go to quip.com/dev/liveapps, and that will take you to the online guide, which is kind of a high-level overview of what you're going to need to know to develop your live app. It's more in-depth than what I've gone into here. And they've also got reference docs on there, which will be very useful for when you need to drill down and know exactly what a particular API call is going to do or what parameters you need to pass to it. And they also have example apps, which are really useful. You can get any of them running in less than 30 minutes, and they're a really great example of how to do different things. So at Lucidchart, we use the Kanban board and Google Drive examples to learn how to do authentication with Google Drive. And for the Kanban board, we learned about records and comments. Finally, they have what are called recipes, which are essentially like short instructional articles that will tell you how to do certain things that you're going to find useful, such as debugging your app or how to make things behave nicely on mobile or storing user preferences. And yes, so something else you need to know is that Lindsay, one of the Quip engineers, is going to be holding a session that goes a little bit more in depth about people who want to get started with customizing Quip and building a live app. And that's going to be at 5:30 in the Savannah Theater on level 2. I highly encourage you to attend. It's going to be great. And finally, Kevin's going to talk about what our takeaways are.
Yeah, so we've gone over a lot of things. We don't expect you to remember all the details, but there are a couple of things that we hope that you take away from our session today. The first, Quip has built an awesome, powerful developer platform. I hope you realize that. I encourage you all to go and build a live app right away. It's really easy to get started. I recommend going to Lindsay's session. That'll help you in this process of getting started. And also, I recommend going to the site that we were talking about and downloading the source code for one of those example apps. It really will take you less than half an hour to get it going, run it locally. You can make little changes and start to see things happen. Also, if you have questions, come up and talk to us after this. We're going to be sticking around here. We're going to have the Q&A session. We're going to be going to Lindsay's session later. If you see us, come and talk to us. We're happy to talk. We're happy to help, answer questions, and talk about some of the other things that we've done that we didn't have time to talk about today, such as using TypeScript, which I think makes us a little bit unique. We're happy to talk to you about that. Also, we used Angular in our live app, in addition to React, which is the default JavaScript framework that most people probably use. So if you have questions about those or anything else about Lucidchart, the live app, please come up and talk to us. We're happy to help. Also, little shameless self-promotion, I encourage you to go and find our live app and download it and install it and start using it. It's, like I said in the beginning, it's free for anyone that wants to use it, whether they have a Lucidchart account or not. If you want to add the existing diagrams, you can connect your account, but even if you don't have a Lucidchart account, you're welcome to go get started and start using it today. You can go to bit.ly/Lucidchart live app to go straight to the App Exchange page and start using it. I highly recommend it. We're so grateful to Quip for allowing us to be involved in this launch and come here today. And we thank Raphael and Ryan for all their help. And we are very excited for Quip, the platform, and everything that you are all going to build. So thank you for letting us come here today.
Go to Q&A if anyone
Yeah,
has any questions.
let's go straight to Q&A for us, for Raphael.
Yeah.
If you ask a question, we'll give you some socks, a little extra motivation. But yeah, feel free to ask us any questions that you have. And I think, are these mics on? Okay, let's have
we
you.
might be able to hear you.
Yeah.
All the live apps that you released today, are they all free or
Yeah, great question. So the question was, are the live apps, both the ones that Quip built and that are native in Quip today, or the third-party ones that are available in the App Exchange as of today, are they free or do you have to pay? It's very much like what Kevin was just talking about with the Lucidchart. The third-party live apps, you do not have to pay extra to use them. If it's a service that is needed from a backend, so if you are a Lucidchart customer, you would have to have a Lucidchart account, whether that's paying free or paying. So it's kind of, you have to be a customer of that third-party service. So for example, TaskRay, if you want to add the TaskRay live app to Quip, that's free. If you want to have functionality of it, you have to be essentially a TaskRay customer or user. Does that make sense?
sort of? So even with Lucidchart,
So that's an example where Lucidchart is very special in that you can actually use Lucidchart without having a Lucidchart account. You will just not have access to, for Lucidchart customers, they will have existing diagrams that you would not have access to. You could only basically create diagrams within that Quip document, and they would just stay there. Lucidchart is a specific one where you can. The other, Draw.io is another that you can, but most of the others, and going forward, you will need to be a customer of that service. And then the Quip live apps, the ones that we built, are free with Quip service. Yes. Sure. Go for it.
Yeah.
Did I miss the point here? So to even use the basic functionality, you have to do some coding on that? Or is there only when we customize, we get into the coding part?
Yeah, that's if you want to build a live app.
Yeah.
So just to use it, no. You like type at Lucidchart and it shows up.
All right, so anybody that, we have a Quip account, I extend it or somehow we activate Lucidchart, and they can start doing things. It's just that stuff you showed us is.
That's right.
Yes, absolutely.
So we threw a lot at you for a variety of different personas. One is for the end user, like if you're just a Quip customer, adding a live app to your Quip document and using it. You do not have to write code at all. As Tim said, you would. There are existing live apps today in that document in Quip that you might be using. If you want to use one like Lucidchart or any of the others, you would have to. The admin for your Quip site would need to add it and authenticate it through App Exchange. And then what we did is their presentation was focused around if you want to build a live app, if you're a company that wants to build on the platform, that's what you would use our API to build it.
Okay, now a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Jira integration.
Yes.
How does that, so I would love to get away from attachment Helen
Right.
and just give a link or something to this, but how did it work? Do you log into Quip, you can see your Jira stuff, or you log into Jira and you can branch out?
So what you do, you'd be in Quip, you'd add the Jira live app to a document, and then you'd have to authenticate to your Jira service, and then you would bring in, it would be a Jira issue, a specific Jira issue, and you can add multiple Jira live apps into a document. So you just authenticate to the service that you need to.
So most of the time they live in the Jira app.
Yep.
So would there be some indication that they're gonna go to Quip if they wanna look at their document or collaborate? How do they manage the two?
So yeah, so the philosophy and the vision of it is that you'd be in Quip working. So imagine like you're doing, there's going to be a product launch happening, and there's a lot of work that's happening between a product development team, and they're using Quip to kind of manage the roadmap and work as a team together. You would put Jira issues, specifically like any bugs that you're tracking, within that Quip document. You wouldn't go back and forth. Now, the fact is that data can sync bidirectionally. So when you make a change to an issue, a Jira issue in Quip, you would sync it to Jira, and it would update there. Likewise, if you updated the same issue in Jira, it would update into Quip. So it's bidirectional syncing. It's live data. So basically, our vision is, why go back and forth between tabs? Just If your team is working in Quip and you want that specific Jira issue directly there, no need to go back and forth. That's how we speed up collaboration.
Quip would take care of all of our Jira comments and attachments. It would be sort of in Quip.
You would add certain fields. The specific Jira Live app is you add specific fields from the issue tracker.
Something for Jira that you're doing work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just a follow-on question to that is,
Sorry.
there a plan to get the Jira Live app into the App Exchange marketplace, or is that always going to be something where you just have to config off on the Jira side?
So currently, as I know it, the Jira Live app is available within QuipDoc. I don't know of any plan right now, though I would imagine to put it in the App Exchange, but that doesn't mean it's not.
There's a bunch you have to do kind of on the Jira side to get your all set up. So
Got
I was
it.
wondering if there was something that smoothed that out on the App Exchange.
Got it. Let me give you my information. I'd love to get a little bit more feedback on kind of that user experience and get it back to the product team, for sure.
We're
Yeah,
on Jira server, so it might just be a little bit different, but I'd love to follow up on that.
understood. Great. Yes.
We use Quip like in our day-to-day basis.
Mhm.
My question is like if we want to build, I might have missed some points from the presentation, but if we want to build any live app
Yep.
by ourselves, do we need to deploy that onto some Heroku application? Like I don't know, like I think I missed like that. And one more thing, like do we have like Trailhead documentation, like somewhere like to
Yeah.
build the live app?
So I'll let Kevin take
Yeah.
over that one for sure.
So anyone can build a live app. My understanding is any Quip user can build a live app, and right now, or very soon, you will be able to then deploy that live app across your instance of Quip, right? Without ever having to put it up on App Exchange. And then going forward, if you want to, you can go through the necessary steps to take the live app that you've built and publish it to the App Exchange marketplace, like Lucidchart has done. And that's going to be a separate thing. But if you want to, it's very possible for you to start right now to build your own internally, and then within, I think it's very soon on the roadmap, you'll be able to then deploy that to everyone in your Quip instance. So did that answer
And
the
then
question?
reference docs, if you go to quip.com/dev, that's where you're able to learn a little bit about the reference docs and how to build the live app. Kevin's right. Right now, the ability, companies have the ability to use that API, build a live app, and then publish it to the App Exchange. And then what's coming is the ability, like if your company had a very specific workflow that you wanted to build a live app for, that you didn't want to publish for the world, you'll be able to you can build that live app right now. What you don't have the functionality to do is deploy across your organization, but that is coming very, very, very soon. Any other questions? Yeah.
Just quickly, easy to build apps that live in chat rooms, not like a Slack bot. My understanding right now is that there is no chat-like integration in Quip chats. I'm not sure if that's on the roadmap, but currently every integration, every live app is for the document, and then the chat is meant to augment that.
Definitely recommend. This is actually Lindsay right here is one of our Quip engineers. He's the person that will be doing the session in a couple of minutes in the Savannah Theater. He did it at Dreamforce. It's a really killer. If anyone is interested in learning how to build the live app, I highly, highly suggest that session. Within 20 minutes, he has a live app running and showing you how easy it is to add collaboration, make it mobile, make it social in less than 10, 15 minutes. It's really pretty powerful. Great. Thanks so much. Appreciate you coming to the session. Really, thanks.